will never forget being in the first year of my PhD and my supervisor saying to me that once you learn how to read the data, you will realize that a lot of these peer-reviewed articles aren't actually as statistically significant as they seem from a first glance. And that year was the hardest research I've done in my entire life. Because you want to know what I found out? It is so fucking hard to prove that a source is reputable. You want to know why? Because you have to prove that it's peer-reviewed. You have to know who the peers are, who paid for the study, what the sample size was, and then you have to prove that the sample size was actually reflective of the population that the sample size is meant to represent. You have to look at the data and see if they say that it is statistically significant, and then how statistically significant, because there is levels to this shit. And you have to know that because you're the researcher. So if you are in a similar situation, let me show you the one thing that would have made my life so much easier back then. So there's a research website that you can go to where you can upload all of your research papers. You can upload as many as you want, and then it's going to save into a library, which you can then organize it into folders. You just highlight the papers that you want to organize, and then you sort them into a folder by a topic. And then once it's in the folder, you can then read the papers side by side. And there is even a chat box in the corner. You can use the chat box to get a deeper understanding of the research papers in the folder. It gives a super detailed answer and even gives you these little numbers here that act as references. So you can see where in the research paper that the chat got the information from.